All right, here we are again with another tournament. This was actually more of a local tournament. For once, I didn't have to travel 12 hours to compete. But here I'm facing off at one of the local gyms here, where I'm from, against this guy who was super aggressive, trying to pull and tug on me, kind of throwing me around a little bit. He was a pretty strong dude, and I'm just trying to get my bearings here because I didn't really get any chance to warm up. They didn't have a warm-up mat anywhere, so I was kind of just sitting around and waiting for them to call me out, and then they threw me out here, and this guy's now just tugging on me. And I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I'll just get tugged around a bit, and we'll see where it goes from there. This match, I remember I was having a lot of trouble breaking his grips because his grips were super strong. He wasn't very technical at all, but he was grabbing me with his life. And I was like, man, what is my answer here? And finally, actually, I have a coach too, who's telling me how to do certain things and helping me a little bit for once. But yeah, this tournament was a little bit weird because I ended up having to fight 2 people to get to the finals, where the guy I fought in the finals only had to fight, actually didn't have to fight anybody to get to the finals. So that was a little bit odd, but I appreciate getting more matches. I don't mind. Helps with the experience. But we're still tugging on each other. Here he tries to snap me down for some sort of headlock or guillotine variation, but nothing there. Finally, I'm starting to strip one of his grips to make something happen, but he locks it back on my wrist and starts yanking me. So I give him a big snap, see if it does anything. Nothing. So here I'm thinking, man, I should probably just pull guard here, make something happen. Since this was a local tournament, the rule set was a little bit weird. I think there were less rules actually than in normal white belt competition, so that was pretty interesting. But here I'm thinking, man, should I just pull? Get this over with? And I'm seeing he keeps leaving his arm hanging out, so I'm thinking maybe I can set up an arm bar from standing here, because we are allowed to jump for subs. But at the same time, I also haven't trained that very much, so maybe I'll just knock myself out, which would not be awesome. But here we are. I'm thinking about it. I thought about trying a little shot there. Can't get past his frames or his grips. Give him a little tug. Still hand fighting. Punches in a little bit of a underhook. Boom. I drop and I jump on the armbar and finish him. Super fast ending to what was kind of a boring match. But yeah, that's something I've been trying a lot in the gym, and it's worked out pretty well for me. Okay, second match of the day here. This happened like 5 minutes after the first one. This guy comes to try and establish some grips on me, as most of them do. Once again, white belts don't really know how to take people down, so they just resort to tugging on you and pulling on you and hoping you fall over. Here he actually just goes for a little bit of a takedown, but I lock in a guillotine, a high elbow guillotine, and I know I've got that in tight. I've got a pretty nasty guillotine, so he actually survives for a while. He chokes around in it, but I've got that on very, very tightly, and it's only a matter of time until he taps to this. Boom. Very quick finish. Obrigado. Lots of respect. Thank you very much. On to the finals for me. All right, here's the finals match. This man came out very, very slow, very methodical. I was like, oh. And then he pulled really quick. And I was like, man, this guy's pretty calm. He might be up to something here. And little do I know, he's setting up lockdown on me right there, as you can see, and he's going for a sweep. And this I was not expecting, nor did I know how to stop at the time. And he was able to get some pretty good back exposure here and almost sweep me. But he loses the lockdown a little bit, and you can see him going to cinch it back up. And from here, I felt so much pressure on my knee. I was like, man, if I don't get swept here, I might blow out my knee. So he sweeps me with this. Not a great start to the match. Wasn't super happy about it. And he's already got me in a super nice leg drag position to pass my guard as well. And I was thinking, man, this is just awful. And here I am completely flattened out, turned completely away from him. No frames. I threw up a buggy choke because I saw it on Instagram. And I thought, well, surely this would be cool if I hit this, right? But it turns out I don't know how to do it. Here he is, still just controlling me. I turtle here to try and make something happen. He goes to throw both of his hooks in, but I try and get my back flat to the mat so I can scrape him off. He's fishing to try and choke. One thing I recall is this guy, he was super strong. Like, I believe the thing with this tournament is they squished a lot of weight classes together, and he was, I think, maybe like he had 10 pounds on me, and I could feel it, man. He was very, very strong. And he's trying to choke me here, but I'm just hanging onto my own lapel for dear life. He's got a grip on my pants too, controlling me. So I'm having a really difficult time even moving at all. And I'm not sure, I guess I had to work on my grip breaks here. Here he shoots and takes my back and locks up the body triangle. Which is, not a great spot. Most people consider the body triangle to be the best control spot from the back to control somebody. So he's got it perfectly locked on the top side. And I'm just thinking, how am I going to get out of this? Like, these matches are only 5 minutes. I don't have very long here, and I'm already down on points. Surely by a lot. So I'm going to have to escape this position, get to a dominant position of my own, or submit him. And here he's still trying to submit me with the choke to the back, and I'm thinking, man, this really couldn't be going any worse. But here he tries to come up for an armbar or something, which is a big mistake for him because I just escape easily. Thankfully he went for that, or I might not have gotten out. And here I'm thinking, man, what am I going to do? I better break this dude's guard. He's just holding me in close guard here. And I immediately try to knee slide the second he opens his guard. My urgency's picking up a lot here. And here he catches me again in lockdown, I think. Or no, never mind. He's trying to set up the lockdown. And he's getting it on that other side here. And once again, I don't know how to deal with this. And he's using it to try and sweep me once more. He's got this nice half guard. Boom. Oh, man. Look at that. Pressure on me and my knee is terrible. Thank God I have flexible knees. Jeez, he uses it to sweep me again, though. And from here, I'm like, man, I got to triangle this guy or something. Like what am I gonna do? And here he's trying to blow past my guard. My retention's still pretty good, thankfully. Not like it matters at this stage. I almost off-balanced him there. He kind of gave up a sweep there a little bit. And then I try a flying armbar triangle or something, just to get something going at the very end of the match here. And he flips me over, tries to take my back again. I do a little bit of scrambling, a little bit of rolling. Make him work for it, because this was his first match of the day, so I figured, hey man, give him a workout. But once again, it ends with me having my back taken, and I actually, never mind. I escaped at the very end. The dying seconds I got out, but he beat me pretty cleanly there. No questions about it. But it's on to the nogi now, which was an exciting rule set. It was actually sub-only. The nogi's a sub-only rule set, which I was very excited to take part in because I haven't done that before. But as you can see, we're both pretty tired, pretty gassed after that one. It was a pretty high-paced match. And yeah, I took silver in the gi. See how the nogi goes. All right, first match of the nogi here. I'm going against some guy I've never seen before, but he came out of the crowd and stepped out on the mat, so we're fighting. He's setting up some attacks on me. I'm trying to think of what I want to do because I have access to all these new techniques that I've never gotten to use before. So I'm thinking, what do I want to try? Like I could do knee bars, foot locks, whatever. No heel hooks, but we can do scissor takedowns too, and I've done those. I know how to do those. So I'm thinking, man, what am I going to set up on this guy? Like, I got so many options. But here, he shoots a takedown on me. And I'm like, oh, nice. Scissor takedown for myself. Hell yeah. So I use that to get on top. Or, never mind, actually, I use that to get swept. Here, we end up against the wall. We're not doing any MMA stuff, so there'll be no wall work. Our man is just going to reset us, I think, back in the middle. But yeah, I was pretty, after hitting that scissor takedown, I was pretty hyped up and I was ready to rock. I was like, this is sick. I love these rules. And I've got a little half butterfly there, trying to invert for an arm bar of some sort. Beauty of sub only, don't have to worry about points. So I can just allow this man to pass my guard and see if there's something I can do about it. I roll him over, try and hit an arm bar, and then he goes for a takedown. I try to shoot a guillotine. I also fail. Try to hit that same high elbow guillotine I hit earlier, but he manages just to pass into side control. And here I'm thinking, well, I don't have a lot of urgency because, I mean, why would I? These rounds are 10 minutes, by the way. It's a 10-minute sub-only round with EBI overtime. So I'm thinking, well, I got plenty of time. I might as well chill out. Like, let's not waste any energy here. Let's not gas out. Let's see what he has to do. See if he tries any dangerous techniques. Here I am trying to thread the needle through his arm underneath, but instead I just opt to turtle out. And then here he uses the front headlock to spin around and take my back here. I remain turtled.
Slow and steady hooks in.
Here I was thinking, man, should I roll for a knee bar? But I was in a bad position, so I couldn't really do it. And here he's just kind of squishing me here. Trying to set up an Americana. Maybe chair sit, take my back. But I managed to regain my guard. And then he makes a mistake while he's trying to pass, and I lock up the triangle. I have a hard time locking up on the regular side, so I pull his head, and I switch to the other side. And then from here, I'm thinking, well, I can control him, but I can't exactly finish. So I'm going to use this setup to switch to the other side, or the regular side triangle. And then from there, I figured I would be in a good finishing position. Here I'm trying to armbar, nothing. I'm like, okay, well, let's just switch back the other way. Hook the leg, sit him down, and then that's a wrap. And I make it to the finals of the no-gi, where I will be getting a rematch against the man who beat me in the gi. Hopefully it goes better. Spoiler alert, it does not go better for me. He immediately comes out, sits to his back right off the bat. I'm thinking, okay, well, let's attack this guy's legs. Like, surely he doesn't know that much about leg locks, right? But I kind of half-assed it a little bit. And from here, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll just go back to passing his guard. I get past his guard almost so close to passing his guard, but he still manages to get his knee in. It means I need to drop my hip more when I'm passing. But here I'm like, okay, well, I've got one of his legs isolated. Or here he starts to sit me down actually for this ankle lock. And I'm like, oh, well, I've never been tapped by an ankle lock before. Surely this is not a problem, right? I won't have any problems here. And he starts to crank it, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then he actually cracks my ankle. He popped it pretty bad, and I still feel it to this day. But yeah, ankle locks work, kids. They work, and I got caught in it pretty bad. Well, if you enjoyed watching me getting my ankle broken, please feel free to like and subscribe, because, man, I'm still walking funny on it 6 months later. Thanks.